Okay, so now I've opened up a version of the document that is very, very bare and bland. As you can see, the text is quite simple. It's just black. This is the default settings for basically everything in Microsoft Word. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and format this document to be much, much more interesting. So we'll start off by working within the styles box, selection box here in the home part of our ribbon. This very top item here is supposed to be our title. Now you could center it if you wanted to. You could highlight it and make it bigger, and you can make it bold, but that's all kind of pointless, and it doesn't really end up looking that great. You kind of have to spend a lot more time fiddling. So instead, what we're going to do is click on the title select box, or title in the style box, and that formats us to look like we've got a nice title going on here. And then we've got some headings. So in this article, there's a whole bunch of headings. The first, private tickets to space, a dragon and a heavy. Previously, these were all in capitals, and we decided to get rid of that. So we're going to change this to match the heading of our style. So all you have to do is click on the whole sentence, the whole line. Basically, as long as it's not anything that's not broken by a return where you get this space in between, will be reformatted this. So if I clicked on a whole paragraph, the whole paragraph would change, and we don't want that. So, but this individual statement changes to a new heading type. So go through your version of this document and change all of your headings. Change all of your headings to match. Okay, welcome back. So now that you've changed all of your headings to match, let's make some further changes. We could add a quote. So there's actually, look at this. We've got a nice quote, big chunk right in the middle here. What I'd like you to do is highlight that chunk of text, and let's look through our theme and see what we have access to. So we've got a subtitle. Well, this is definitely not a subtitle. We can do subtle emphasis. That looks kind of cool. Makes it feel like visually it's been completely separated from the rest of the text. We could change that to regular emphasis. It's not a different color. Oh, looks like we've got too much selected there. Select that properly. There we go. So emphasis, a little less interesting. Mostly it's just an italic version of the same thing. We could go intense if we wanted to highlight that. Quote. Quote's alright. Tends to stick out a little bit. We could do intense quote. So there's lots of different options. What we'll do is we're going to use subtle reference right here. So I'd like you to select this quote in the paragraph just above a dragon and a heavy, and we're going to pick subtle reference. And then our intro paragraph. Our intro paragraph, it's just meant to be a bit of a hook, so let's make that a little bit more exciting. Let's go, do we want to do subtle emphasis? Sure, or we could go intense or strong. Intense quote, maybe not. Book title, no we don't. No, that's actually not bad. Let's go with book title. We'll just leave it like that. So now we've picked a number of things from our style drawer to format our document with, and it's already starting to look a little bit better. Now the fonts that are used have all been chosen within our style, so we don't have to do any of that business. But this doesn't look like a great heading to me. I mean, first off, when I look at it aesthetically, all of my first letters are not capitalized. The Word has treated this like a sentence. So we could change that. If you click on this, well, let's just actually look at this to begin with. Up here is our font drawer, and the font drawer has lots of different options for us. We can change the actual font if we want to override the existing style font. We can change its size if we wanted to override. These two buttons here give you quick access. If you just click on them to do a quick change to the next font size, you can use bold, which alternatively Control B also works. So if you want to highlight some text and do that. I is for italicize. You can also Control I, and then U is for underline. You can also Control U to do the same thing. Gives you a couple options here for strike through. Strike through is you're not going to want to use this very often. It's just a sort of nice way to when you're doing some editing, or if you stylistically like that for individual words. You can also use the subscript and superscript buttons. And the subscript basically makes the text really, really tiny, but in a very specific way. So if you were writing, say, a fraction or whatever, let's say f, and we wanted to make it f squared, I could make this, highlight the little 2, and go superscript, and it makes it look like f squared. So don't need to worry about that, but just a nice little function. Furthermore, we can continue to edit with this font sort of style box here, which allows us to have much more access to things. We can have some pre-made, predefined styles here. We can choose to outline the letters. We can add shadows if we want. We can change or add like our nice little reflection. So this is kind of a nice way to modify very specific individual titles or elements of our document. So very kind of neat little options that are often hidden away and not necessarily noticed. This is this is a highlighter. It's great when you're editing documents, but you don't ever really want to use that in a document that you want other people to see. It's just sort of a tool for you, just like any other highlighter actually is. And this allows us to change our colors. And as you can see, it says theme colors because it's giving us shades of just the colors that are active in the theme. And this helps you keep a nice coherent look. But of course, you can select really any color you actually like. Alright, so what I want to do though is hit this drop down, and this gives us some casing options. So sentence case is what we're currently at. So when in a sentence, your first letter of your first word is capitalized and everything else after that is just lowercase. If I want all lowercase, it's going to make sure every letter is lowercase. If I want all uppercase, I can do that as well. I can capitalize each word. I don't know why this first word didn't capitalize, but that's all right. I can capitalize each word in the sentence. And that gives us sort of more of a title-like feeling. Toggle case, wow, that looks like it was written by an ironic teenager back in early MSN Messenger days. Let's not do that. Flip that back around. I think we'll stick with all uppercase. So go ahead to each of your headings here and change them over to all uppercase. Makes them stand out a little bit. Alright, so now that you've gone and changed all of your headings to all uppercase, we'll move on to the actual design elements of this document. I'm going to zoom out here. There we go. So zoomed out so I can now get a better look at my entire document. And then let's start playing with the themes. So if I pick a new theme, all of my fonts, as you'll notice, I'm just hovering over these, I'm not even clicking them. As I hover over, all of the elements of style in my entire document change. The font for everything from the basic text in the document to headings, to subheadings, to titles, everything changes color, changes size, changes font, and basically what ends up happening is you end up with still a very coherent looking document. All these things are chosen to look very good together. Let's go with crop. Okay. So now crop within the theme has its own styles that we have access to. So by changing to different styles, we're still getting a bunch of coherent things that fit within our general theme. We can also choose to change the colors to something that we like a little bit better. And we can also change the basic font that everything is based off of, which I won't do. So what I'd like you to do is pick a theme that works for you, and then also pick a style that works for you. also go ahead and edit the colors to choose a new set of colors that you like. So it's your choice what you end up doing, but go through all of the themes and styles until you find something that you like and select that. And then we'll come back once you are done that.